Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to work on the cover and the inside, and then we'll see how far we get if we work on any of our pages or not. So these are the papers that I'm going to use, or some of the papers at least, and this is from my new Books and Bugs digital kit. I did a flip through on my channel maybe like a week or two ago. So check that out, and then the link for this is down in the description through my Ko-Fi store, so you can go check those out. So this is the paper that I'm going to use, and what we're going to do is, now you can do it a couple different ways. You can completely cover the whole thing and lay your paper on, and that's fine, but sometimes I find that if you just lay the whole thing on and then you go to fold it, it's going to kind of create gaps in your paper because the paper is kind of going to shrink up on itself, and it doesn't always look the greatest. So I'm going to cut the spine, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and then I'll cut the sides and make those bigger, and then trim everything out, because that's just how I find it easier. And if you hear anything, my daughter Lizzie is crafting with us, and she actually was crafting in the last video when we put our pages and stuff together, and I just didn't think to mention it, but she is crafting along with us on this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my pages at I'm going to cut my covers, so the front and the back, outside and inside both, I'm going to cut at 4 1/4 inches tall, and I'm going to cut them at 3 inches wide, and that gives us a 1/4 inch overhang. That way we can line our papers up right and make sure it goes all the way to the edge, because I like that look. If you don't like that look necessarily, you could paint around this, or you could put something else underneath it, like a white piece or, you know, a tan piece or something, and then make a frame. But I'm just going to put it right to the edge. And if you are planning on inking, you're going to want to grab your ink out, so that when we glue it down, then you can ink around it. And then for my spine, I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 inches tall, and then I'm going to cut it at 2 inches wide. Remember, our spine is 1 1/4 inches, but that way I have a little extra on either side. That way when we fold it, you're not going to be able to see any of the cardboard box. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all my pieces. So front and back, spine, outside. Front and back, spine, inside. And then I'll be back, and then we'll glue it all down. Alright, so I have all my papers cut. Here is my front and my back spine. Here is my inside covers. Oops, that's upside down. My inside covers, and then this is what I'm going to use for my outside covers. So first we're going to glue down the spine pieces. Kind of like that. And if your paper is thin enough, you can just use the glue stick. If you don't like glue stick, you can just use the art glitter glue, or whatever your favorite glue is. For this, I think I should be good just using my glue stick, because my paper is just copy weight paper. So I just want to make for sure. Now, it doesn't have to be like super even on each side, but I just want to make for sure that I have some overhang on each side of my spine. That way, again, we're not going to be able to see any of the cardboard when it's glued down. And I'm just going to smush my glue out so it's all dispersed evenly. And as you can see, I didn't get it cut quite even and straight. I'll just grab my scissors and trim it. Now you don't want to fold anything yet, because we need to make sure this sits for just a little bit. That way our glue is properly set and we don't have any funky bulking or pulling apart, anything like that. Okay, so trim that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the inside spine while I'm going. And you can still use this method, like if you aren't using a food box or something, if you use like a piece of cardstock or whatever, and then you're adding all this extra paper on, you're gonna make it pretty sturdy. So this is a good way too if you don't have like a cardboard box or something. Okay. Smooth it down, and apparently I'm just not cutting straight and even at all today because I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit too. Trimmed that up. Okay, now we can go ahead and do our covers. So since we're here, we can just do the inside cover. And I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera, but since I smoothed it down, I can actually see where my fold lines are for my cover. So I got that really off because that's not going to have much room at all to fold. But it'll be okay. But I can see where my lines are, so I'll be able to make sure I don't go over those lines. And because this is bigger, you're going to want to actually glue on this especially if you're using glue stick. That way it gives you coverage all the way to the edges, because that's what we're trying to get. And if I'm going off screen, I have a glue book sitting right here that I'm actually using to glue on my papers. So that's why you kind of don't see me and then you see me. So I just want to make for sure that, again, it's not going over that line, and because it's covered, I don't really have to worry too much about going right up to that line. The only thing you want to be mindful of is that you're gluing, or that you're putting your paper on straight. And kind of smush it down a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. And then we'll trim before we do the outside, because otherwise we won't be able to see where we're supposed to be trimming. Okay, so I trimmed around the edges, so now we're all kind of even again. And see, this is what I was talking about. You get like a nice flush edge, and you don't have to worry about you know, not lining it up straight. So that's done, and now we're going to just cover this side here. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it all glued down, and I went ahead and trimmed it. So this is our this is what I have for my front cover, and this is our inside. And now, if you've noticed, I haven't scored this yet, and I don't want to. So I'm actually going to end the video here because I want to keep these videos relatively short. That way everybody can kind of follow along and no one gets overwhelmed or anything. And it needs time to dry. So the only thing I didn't do, I didn't ink this. And The only reason why I didn't is because I haven't done my score lines or anything yet. So we'll do that in the next video, even though I said, you know, get your ink ready. But this needs to dry for a little bit. That way everything is good and set and we're not pulling any of the paper off. So in the next video, we can fold this and score it, and then we can work on getting our pages ready to be sewn into the signatures or into our little journal. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on. That way when I upload any of these videos, you never miss. And if I do any challenge videos or haul videos or anything like that, you'll get notified right away. So until next time, guys, happy crafting. Bye.